Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to share with you a very emotional and heart-touching love story. Every story here is filled with the feelings, pain and little hope. So please listen till end, and if you like it, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Let's begin with the story.
Today, I'm going to tell you a story that may seem incredibly inspiring at first. But before you know it, it takes a shocking turn into a criminal case that no one could have imagined. This story begins in a small town in Karnataka, India, called Basavanabakwed. Life there is usually simple, quiet, and modest. Yet from this small town emerged a young woman whose dreams were much bigger than her circumstances. Sridevi Ridiji did not have an easy childhood. When she was studying in the 10th grade, her father lost one of his legs due to a serious illness. The responsibility of supporting the family fell entirely on her mother, who worked long hours as a laborer to make ends meet. In situations like these, dreams often become smaller. But Sridevi refused to give up. Her journey in karate began when she was in the 6th grade. What started as a hobby soon became a passion, and that passion eventually took her to the national stage. In 2012, she won a gold medal at the National Karate Championship held in Vijayawada, earning recognition for her remarkable talent. However, her biggest achievement came in 2020 when she represented India at an international karate championship in Howrah and won another gold medal. A girl from a small town was now making her country proud. Her talents were not limited to karate. She also excelled in dance, music, yoga, and several other activities. Throughout her journey, many people supported her. Her grandfather, Shivram Patel, was one of her biggest sources of encouragement. Local Shivandanas. Patel also provided financial assistance so that a lack of money would not stand in the way of her dreams. After winning numerous medals and awards, Sridevi set her sights on an even bigger goal, winning medals at the Asian Games and the Olympics and bringing greater glory to India. But life is not driven by hard work and dreams alone. Sometimes, timing, circumstances, and human intentions come together to create a story with an ending nobody expects. Because while one young woman was dreaming of Olympic success, just 3 years later she would find herself arrested by the Central Crime Branch. What happened? How did a 25-year-old international gold medalist end up on such a dark path? Let's find out. My name is Sarthik, and you're watching our channel. The year was 2023. At the age of 25, Sridevi opened a preschool for young children in Bangalore's Mahalamchi layout neighborhood. The school began doing well. Admissions increased, and parents trusted her with their children. One of those parents was 34-year-old Rakesh Vinsha, who lived nearby with his wife and 3 daughters. He enrolled his youngest daughter, who was 5 years old, in the preschool. As the owner and teacher of the school, Sridevi interacted directly with parents on a regular basis. During these conversations, she and Rakesh became acquainted. At first, their discussions focused on his daughter and school-related matters. But over time, the conversations began moving in a different direction. Then came 2024. A new year. A fresh start, but it was also the beginning of a dangerous game, one driven not by emotions, but by calculation. As her relationship with Rakesh grew closer, Sridevi asked him for a loan of 300,000 rupees, claiming the money was needed for school maintenance expenses. She promised to repay it soon. Trusting her, Rakesh agreed. At the time, he did not realize he was stepping into a trap that would eventually threaten his family, reputation, and peace of mind. Months later, when he asked for his money back, Sridevi claimed that her father was ill and requested more time. Rakesh agreed, but when he later pressed again for repayment, Sridevi introduced a new idea. Instead of returning the money, she offered him a partnership in the school. Up to this point, everything seemed like a normal business discussion. The real game began when Rakesh continued demanding his money. This time, Sridevi offered something entirely unexpected. She deliberately blurred personal boundaries and drew him into an inappropriate relationship. Knowing his vulnerabilities, she invited him to her home. What happened there changed everything. Rakesh became emotionally attached and stopped thinking clearly. Sridevi recognized this weakness and turned it into her greatest weapon. While Rakesh believed they shared a genuine connection, he was slowly becoming trapped. Soon afterward, Sridevi revealed her true intentions. Instead of repaying the original loan, she asked him for another 50,000 rupees. By now, Rakesh was emotionally invested and unable to walk away easily. His attachment grew stronger. He purchased 2 new phones and SIM cards, one for himself and one for Sridevi. They communicated frequently through WhatsApp messages and video calls. Most of their conversations revolved around either money and business or personal matters. The financial discussions helped Sridevi assess how much money Rakesh could afford to give. The personal conversations helped her maintain control over him. Little by little, he sank deeper into the trap. Then came the biggest demand yet. After learning that Rakesh was a successful businessman, Sridevi asked him for 1.5 million rupees. For the first time, Rakesh realized he was being systematically manipulated and blackmailed. Enough was enough. He broke his SIM card, cut off communication, and decided never to contact her again. He believed the chapter was finally over. He was wrong. Meanwhile, his business was suffering major financial losses. Eventually, he made the difficult decision to relocate with his family to Gujarat. To do so, he needed a transfer certificate from the preschool for his daughter. It seemed like a simple administrative task. On March 12, Sridevi unexpectedly called Rakesh's wife and told her to come collect the transfer certificate. But this call was part of a carefully planned scheme. Sridevi knew that if his wife became involved, Rakesh would rush to the school out of fear that their past interactions might be exposed. And that's exactly what happened. When Rakesh arrived, two men named Ganesh Kale and Sagar were waiting for him.
Wow, the story has taken a really interesting turn now. What do you think will happen next? If you are learning something new from this story, please give this video a like right now and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Without wasting any time, let's listen carefully to what happened next.
They forcibly took him inside the school building. Since it was a holiday, no one else was present. Before he could understand what was happening, Ganesh informed him that Sridevi and Sagar were engaged. Rakesh was stunned. He immediately tried to explain that he had no knowledge of this and that he only knew Sridevi through the school. The men then threatened him. They warned that everything involving Sridevi would be revealed to his wife and family. For Rakesh, this wasn't just a threat, it was the possibility of losing his family. The men then forced him into an SUV and claimed they were taking him to a police station. Instead, they drove near his home. That is when the real demand was revealed. Pay 1 crore rupees, they said, where your wife will learn everything. His reputation, marriage, and future were suddenly at stake. Then Sridevi entered the picture again. She called Rakesh and spoke with complete confidence, as though everything was under her control. She mentioned a former assistant commissioner of police from the Mulzamur subdivision and implied that she had powerful connections. She warned him that if he refused to cooperate, criminal cases could be filed against him. Rakesh was terrified. He pleaded with them and explained that his business was already struggling. Eventually, the demand was reduced from 1 crore rupees to 20 lakh rupees. The group immediately collected 190,000 rupees in cash as an initial payment before releasing him. But the nightmare wasn't over. 5 days later, on March 17, 2025, Sridevi called him again. This time her tone was even harsher. She demanded another 15 lakh rupees and threatened to send private video calls and messages to his wife if he refused. She even explained how the money would supposedly be divided. 5 lakh for the former AK, 1 lakh for Sagar. 1 lakh for Ganesh. And the remaining 8 lakh for herself. It was a carefully organized extortion operation. Finally, when the pressure became unbearable, Rakesh gathered the courage to approach Bangalore Central Crime Branch and tell them everything. Investigators quickly began their inquiry. One of the first discoveries was that the former AK whose name had been used to intimidate Rakesh had absolutely no connection to the case. His name had simply been used to create fear. Police moved swiftly. Sridevi Rudaji, Sagar Moore, and Ganesh Kale were arrested. A court later remanded all three to judicial custody for 14 days. Cases involving honey traps and extortion often raise serious legal discussions. For Ganesh and Sagar, obtaining bail could be difficult because offenses involving kidnapping, coercion, and extortion are considered very serious under Indian law. However, legal provisions sometimes allow courts to consider bail differently for women, minors, or individuals with serious health issues, depending on the circumstances. This often becomes a subject of public debate. But beyond the legal questions, this case highlights a deeper reality. In honey trap schemes, the most powerful weapon is rarely a photo or video. It is fear. Fear of public embarrassment. Fear of losing one's family. Fear of social judgment. Sridevi understood that Rakesh was a married businessman, and she allegedly used that fear as leverage. When this story began, she appeared to be a symbol of determination and success. An international gold medalist, a teacher. An inspiration. But ambition without ethics can become dangerous. According to investigators, the same intelligence and determination that helped her achieve success were eventually used in a scheme that led her behind bars. And what about Rakesh? He believed he was taking a small risk in pursuit of excitement. Instead, he found himself trapped in a situation that nearly destroyed his life. The biggest lesson from this case is simple. When personal and professional boundaries begin to blur, it is often wise to step back immediately. Because once fear takes control, someone else can begin controlling your decisions. Extortion is not only about money. It is about taking away someone's peace of mind.
So friends, this was today's emotional love story. If you like the story, please like the video, share it to your friends and subscribe to my channel for more beautiful stories like this. Thank you so much for listening. See you soon in the next stories.